The prophecy of Micah, a man from the small town of Morsheth, begins with a thunderous warning, not just to one city, but to all people on earth. Hear, O peoples, all of you. Listen, O earth and all who are in it. That the sovereign Lord may witness against you. This is not just a local concern. God, the Lord of heaven and earth, is stepping down from his holy temple to bring judgment. The imagery is striking: mountains melt beneath him, valleys split open, like wax near fire or water pouring down a slope. The earth trembles, not from natural forces, but from the weight of divine justice. The cause of judgment. God reveals the cause of his coming wrath. All this is because of Jacob's transgression. Because of the sins of the people of Israel. The nation has become corrupted. The capital cities, Samaria, for the northern kingdom, and Jerusalem, for the southern kingdom, are no longer beacons of righteousness. They are the very centers of rebellion and idolatry. What is Jacob's transgression? Is it not Samaria? What is Judah's high place? Is it not Jerusalem? Samaria is specifically targeted. God says he will make it a heap of rubble, exposing its foundations, smashing its idols, and using its wealth, gained through idolatry and immorality, for foreign invaders. Everything that had been dedicated to false gods will be burned and destroyed. Micah's grief. Micah doesn't deliver this message coldly. He is overwhelmed with sorrow. Because of this I will weep and wail. I will go about barefoot and naked. I will howl like a jackal and moan like an owl. The prophet is devastated, not only for Samaria, but also for Judah, especially his own people in the south. The judgment is spreading like a disease, from the north to the very gates of Jerusalem. A national lament. Micah names various towns in Judah, many with wordplays that highlight their fate. These cities, close to his hometown, are about to feel the consequences of their nation's sins. For example, Beth-le-Aphrah, meaning house of dust, roll in the dust. Shapher, meaning pleasant, will be exposed in shame. Zonan, meaning going out, will not come out. Each name becomes a poetic judgment, showing how no one will escape what is coming. Micah mourns like someone who has lost everything: his home, his people, his land. Wound yourselves for your children's sake, because they have gone into exile. Reflection. Micah chapter 1 sets a powerful tone for the entire book. God is not distant. He sees the corruption of his people and takes it seriously. Judgment comes not just for blatant evil, but for religious hypocrisy and national pride. Micah mourns, not mocks. He shows us what it means to carry God's burden with compassion. The sins of nations have real, personal consequences for everyday people and towns. This chapter is a wake-up call, a reminder that holiness matters, justice matters, and God will not remain silent when his people turn away. We've now seen the powerful opening of Micah's prophecy, where God's majesty meets human rebellion. The imagery of melting mountains and shattered cities paints a vivid picture of divine justice. To fully appreciate the weight of Micah's message and God's unwavering commitment to righteousness, let's turn to the very words of Scripture. As we delve into the original text of Micah chapter 1, verse by verse, allow these ancient verses to illuminate the profound truths about judgment and the call to accountability. 1. The word of the Lord that came to Micah of Morsheth during the reigns of Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, the vision he saw concerning Samaria and Jerusalem. 2. Hear, you peoples, all of you. Listen, earth and all who live in it. That the sovereign Lord may bear witness against you. The Lord from his holy temple. Judgment against Samaria and Jerusalem. 3. Look. The Lord is coming from his dwelling place. He comes down and treads on the heights of the earth. For the mountains melt beneath him, and the valleys split apart. Like wax before the fire. Like water rushing down a slope. 5. All this is because of Jacob's transgression. Because of the sins of the people of Israel. What is Jacob's transgression? Is it not Samaria? What is Judah's high place? Is it not Jerusalem? 6 Therefore I will make Samaria a heap of rubble, a place for planting vineyards. I will pour her stones into the valley, and lay bare her foundations. 7 All her idols will be broken to pieces. All her temple gifts will be burned with fire. I will destroy all her images, since she gathered her gifts from the wages of prostitutes. As the wages of prostitutes they will again be used. Weeping and mourning. 8 Because of this I will weep and wail. I will go about barefoot and naked. I will howl like a jackal, and moan like an owl. 9 For Samaria's plague is incurable. It has spread to Judah. It has reached the very gate of my people, even to Jerusalem itself. 10 Tell it not in Gath. Weep not at all. In Beth-le-Aphrah. Roll in the dust. 11 Pass by naked and in shame. You who live in Shapher. Those who live in Zonan will not come out. Beth-Ezel is in mourning. It no longer protects you. 12 Those who live in Marath writhe in pain, waiting for relief, because disaster has come from the Lord, even to the gate of Jerusalem. 13 You who live in Lachish, harness fast horses to the chariot. You are where the sin of daughter Zion began. For the transgressions of Israel were found in you. 14 Therefore you will give parting gifts to Morsheth Gath. The town of Akzib will prove deceptive to the kings of Israel. 15 I will bring a conqueror against you, who live in Mareshah. The nobles of Israel will flee to Adullam. 16 Shave your head in mourning for the children in whom you delight. Make yourself as bald as the vulture, for they will go from you into exile. Thank you for joining us. We trust that this exploration of Micah chapter 1 has provided a deeper understanding of God's powerful message of judgment and the prophet's compassionate delivery. If this video resonated with you and expanded your understanding, please consider liking this video to help us reach more seekers of truth. Commenting below with your reflections, questions, or what stood out to you most. We love hearing from our community. Subscribing to our channel for more impactful journeys through biblical prophecy and divine messages. Turning on notifications so you never miss our new releases. Joining our growing community or supporting our mission, if you feel led, to help us continue creating content that illuminates Scripture. Your engagement and support empower us to keep sharing these vital truths. Thank you for being a part of our journey.